Who knew that happy days could come back in 2016? Those questions about Ted Cruz's eligibility on the trail this week. Let's talk about it now on our roundtable, joined by our political analyst Matthew Dowd, television radio host Tavis Smiley, also the author of The Covenant with Black America 10 Years Later, Hugh Hewitt, host of The Hugh Hewitt Show, and our own political analyst, Democratic strategist Donna. Hugh Hewitt, you're tapped into the Republican base, the Republican primary voters. They're listeners of yours as well. How does an issue like this get traction?
It doesn't. There's no debate. There isn't one single legal scholar in America who believes this is an open question. Ted Cruz is qualified. But I am reminded of when I was a lad, there was a series of 3 fights between Joe Frazier and Muhammad Ali, and they were epic battles, and I think Iowa, New Hampshire, and South Carolina between Ted Cruz and Donald Trump are going to be that kind of slugfest. And on the other side, there's who's got the George Foreman lane. Someone is going to emerge on the other side, but those two are just going to clobber.
Well, you brought back memories for me, too, listening to those fights on the transistor radio under my pillow.
I am tickled by the fact that the establishment candidates are not running George this year as strong as they have in past years. I'm okay with seeing somebody from the outside do well. But I get tired of, respectfully, of us lumping Trump and Sanders in the same group. I take your point. There are 2 different kinds of candidates. You're right. They're appealing for different reasons. But one of these guys is being covered, but he's not being condemned. I'm talking, of course, about Donald Trump. That is not the message that Bernie Sanders is putting out.
Of course I'm not going to condemn him, Tavis, because he's talking about issues that no one else will talk about. Donald Trump's going to win New Hampshire on the basis of candor, and his combative.
And hate.
This morning, not hate. And this morning on every national show, I'll bet you, no one brings up 18 U.S.C. 1924, a statute that former Secretary of State Clinton almost certainly broke, as was released on Friday. I'll bet you it's not discussed anywhere, but that Donald Trump will discuss it. And when he does that...
Can you explain what the statute is?
The statute prohibits the misuse of classified information. And she directed Jake Sullivan to alter and send over a non-secure system, secure communications. It's clearly a felony. I think he's going to be indicted. Nevertheless, no one's going to talk about that. And because Trump will, he scores, not because of hatred, but because of candor.
Oh, my God. He has demonized just about every group of American. He's demonized immigrants. He's demonized and banning Muslim. He's essentially insulted women. Even in trying to defend his own record on sexism, he's went one step further with vulgarity. Look, Donald Trump might be appealing to a vast majority of Republican-based voters, but I with the way in which he goes about
I fought with him. I'm the only one here who's been in a knockdown. I've got my Trump tattoo.
You're not the only
one.
Meanwhile, Hugh Hewitt, what happens over on the Republican side? Ted Cruz still ahead in Iowa. There's a big open question in Iowa whether Donald Trump's support actually measures actual caucus voters on caucus night. What happens if Cruz wins Iowa? What does that do to Donald Trump?
Ted Cruz is going to win Iowa. Every single person I've talked to says on the ground the organization's so massive, and all you veterans know what it means. But I think Donald Trump's lead in New Hampshire is significant, so they go down to the South. And the South, I had John Kasich tell me this week on the show he's got a firewall built in Mississippi because of Trent Lott. I thought that sounded a little bit odd. But nevertheless, there's Massachusetts on that day. It's a wild free-for-all that could go on for a long time. It's the best race of my lifetime.
Room for Rubio in that? Room for an establishment candidate?
Your conversation with Marco Rubio reminds everyone. I'll go back to my boxing analogy. When we were done with all those heavyweights, you know who showed up? Sugar Ray Leonard. A generational change occurred that completely shifted the dynamics of the sport. And I think that Rubio and to a lesser extent Cruz are doing that. John Kasich can win Ohio on March 15th, take delegates to an open convention and have a lot.
And Jeb Bush can get his second win.
That's
Who knows with South Carolina?
And let me just ask right there, if that 3-way race that Matt just described, and if John Kasich stays in and perhaps wins Iowa, you are talking about a very long fight. Does that mean that no single candidate has the delegates they need going into the convention?
It does. 1,237 are necessary. It means the best convention. It's in Cleveland, the best city and the best state with the best football team. And so we would love to have an open convention go for 2 weeks rather than 1 week.
I thought it was 1,324, but that's okay. All right, 1, 2, 3, 7. Okay, good. But look, here's the point, George. It's going to take a long time for the Republicans to sort it out. It's a good thing that the establishment lane should be an accident scene because you have so many candidates vying for that 3rd place. And when you're vying for 3rd place, it's a long way home to be number 1.
I got to say, there's also a tidbit in the New York Times this morning. I guess you knew this had to be coming. Michael Bloomberg, billionaire, former mayor of New York, here thinking of the possibility that Donald Trump could be the Republican nominee, Hillary Clinton, the Democratic nominee, has done some polling. I'm told, Hugh Hewitt, that polling shows a legitimate 3-way race. Do you think
Please,
it could
God.
actually happen?
Please, God. That's all. Yes, but Mayor Bloomberg, do it. If you're watching, do it.
But put it in a sports metaphor.
You got me.
I think
you got me.
Hi, this is Hugh Hewitt. Thank you for stopping by my YouTube channel. Click right here to watch previous ones that you may not have seen, and click right here to subscribe to get all of them. And this is what you really need to do, is click right here to subscribe. Thanks for coming by. Don't miss a minute of any of the Hugh Hewitt YouTubes.